So how long could this war between Israel and Hezbollah go on? Joining me now is Dr. Joseph Bahout, Director of the American University of Beirut Institute for Public Policy and International Affairs. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And first of all, how weakened do you think Hezbollah is?
Look, I think that very few people have exact info on that. You need intel on that. But what's obvious is that it has been shaken. It has been probably very groggy. Not recently, since the pager attack, the pager operation, and then it has been decimated on many levels of the elite unit command, and then ultimately lately with the death of its very symbolic, very charismatic leader, Hassan Nasrallah, and maybe now with his successor. Now, what does it mean in terms of real, let's say, capacity to bounce back for Hezbollah? I think that the battling units are still operating in the south. You see it. They are still able even to inflict to the Israeli troops some very severe blows and defeats. Probably the long-range missiles, the precision missiles have been eroded in numbers, maybe in capacity to operate, but they are still here. The question, I think, is more political. How politically resilient is the party? How much is it able today to keep the command and control not only on the troops and on the kinetics of the operations, but on its own public, the mobilization, the morale, and etc. And this we don't know much. And last but not least, the public of Hezbollah, the sociology of Hezbollah, that is now displaced on the streets, on the roads, in the streets, in open air. And I think that this could quickly become also a burden for the party, or on the contrary, a sort of pressure tool by the party on the Lebanese society and on the political system.
Right. If it is weakened to the extent that there's an opportunity maybe for the Lebanese army, the Lebanese authorities to step in and you know, in a sense, retake control. Do you think that is a possibility at all?
Look, this is not the way things operate usually in Lebanon. In Lebanon, things are done by at least consensus or acceptance or etc. It's even more the case when you talk about the Lebanese army and Hezbollah. The relation between both units, both bodies have been very, very intertwined for the last 2-3 decades. I don't see at all the army doing a coup de force or a coup against Hezbollah. It could probably take benefit from the weakening of Hezbollah in order to take more space, but I think that without a political consensus to which Hezbollah will be participating either indirectly or directly through Nabi Berri, the Speaker of the House, and etc., I think any other scenario could really take the country towards a sort of bloody scenario of internal friction. I don't think that the army command has this in mind. I think that they are wiser than that. The question is how eroded will Hezbollah become over time in order for him or for them to accept a sort of political solution, 1701 plus, a muscular 1701, army deployment, election of a president of the republic, and then integrating fully the political life in the country by forgiving their weapons to the Lebanese army. Any other scenario is a frontal. Not before the military, let's say, landscape takes us this way. Today, Hezbollah's mindset is that of we're still here, we're still fighting, the resistance is on, we lost our leader, but nothing has changed really on the ground.
Well, I mean, a lot has changed in reality because a lot of the leadership has gone. So the Iranian foreign minister flies in today. Who has he come really to talk to? Is it the Lebanese government or is it really Hezbollah?
No, both. I think that he came, first of all, to show a strong message of support to Hezbollah. This was the Friday where you also had the prayer in Tehran where Khamenei prayed himself on Nasrallah in Arabic, which was a strong signal of support to dispel a little bit this, you know, this idea that Iran has sold out Hezbollah. And then he came also to speak probably to today the sole two representatives of what's remaining of the Lebanese Republic, unfortunately, meaning Prime Minister Mikati and Speaker Berri. He came probably to tell them, we are here, we haven't lost everything, The country is not completely lost for us. We'll probably remain in the fray, in the landscape, and probably trying to establish the parameters of what could be a ceasefire in the coming future and what's acceptable for Iran in terms of solution after this bloodshed.
Right. Now, it's speculation at the moment, but if the Israelis have also assassinated the expected successor to Nasrallah, Hashem Safiuddin, how much of a blow would that be for Hezbollah?
My reading, because this has to do with intelligence also, but my reading, what we know about the party, what we know about this very strange, let's say, body, is that it would be a huge blow, because it's been very long time that we all know that Hashem Safiuddin would be one day the successor of Hassan Nasrallah. So they have prepared him, they have groomed him. So I don't know if they have a number 3, a third card in their hands in order to present it and to take the lead. Also, it would be a blow psychologically. It would mean for the public of the party, for the fighters, for the militants of Hezbollah, that any new Secretary General is here for a very interimary period of leadership, that the Israelis are here, that they are able to hit anyone. This is psychologically very strong, but also organizationally, I think it would be a strong blow, because Safiuddin was not no one in the party. He had huge responsibilities. He was prepared for that, and I think that also he would have been probably someone who could have taken very quickly the lead after Hassan Nasrallah, given his personality.
Professor, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Good of you to come in. Thank you very much indeed. Right, much more from Beirut a little later, but now let's go back to London, and it's Jasper with some sport.